River rising, ice jams causing water to back up on the Milwaukee River as neighbors are sandbagging just in case. Welcome to the Now. I'm Steve Shamraz. Massive chunks of ice melting on the Milwaukee River, creating a huge ice jam. It's already causing some flooding in Ozaukee County, and with temperatures soaring into the 50s this afternoon, it has some people in Thiensville on edge. And Sterling has more.
You can't miss this massive ice jam on the Milwaukee River near Cedarburg. Thousands of pounds of ice clogging up the river. This is what the Milwaukee River looks like just off Pioneer Road. Ice jams are fascinating to look at. It can cause serious floods in surrounding areas.
We definitely keep our eye on it, but it's been a long time since we've had to shut down because of it.
Down the river in Thiensville, the employees at Fiddlehead's coffee shop are ready if the river rises. The sandbags are already out and ready to go.
Back about 10 years ago, it did get all the way up to the main street here, so I know we'll figure it out either way.
If the ice jam breaks upstream near Cedarburg, the water would rush downstream here to Thiensville. But if the jam holds, the water could continue to build upstream towards Saukville.
We're keeping aware of it.
Back in Thiensville, John Abbott walks his dogs Buddy and Tori every day.
That's a walk, but we make a pit stop here, get our coffee, so that's a break in the walk.
John's lived here for more than 10 years. He's seen his share of flooding in this community.
In the past, the water would come up on Main Street here. And in the back of this store here, they put up sandbags to keep the water out of the basement.
Temperatures are climbing right now into the 50s, and all eyes are on Thursday's forecast, which could bring more rain and snow. In Ozaukee County and Sterling, today's TMJ4.
That's right. We are monitoring the temperatures and also our next system that's going to be headed our way. It's going to bring us some rain at first, and then we'll see that briefly changing over to some snow. Now, here's a look at the current temperatures. It's sitting at 50 in West Bend, 52 in Waukesha, also Milwaukee at 50. Also seeing the temperature right now in Milwaukee into the 30s. That's where it's going to be later on tonight, expecting a temperature of 37. But mainly going to see that rain pushing in after midnight. So we'll be doing okay as we go throughout the rest of this evening with a mostly cloudy sky. So here's what you can expect over the next 12 hours or so. That system to our south over Arkansas and Missouri, it's going to be lifting towards the northeast, and mainly after midnight, that's when we'll see the rain pushing in, and by tomorrow morning switching over to some snow. Steve.
All right, Alicia, thank you. With today's warmer temperatures, the first Milwaukee County golf course is open. Lincoln Park Golf Course teed off at 9 a.m. with a number of golfers getting out there early. The park says its sandy soil makes it easier for them to open since they drain better than other parks. While the scores might not be the best today, it is a chance to knock off the rust and get outside with spring out there on the horizon.
Because of the weather, you know, and to also get outside and get a little exercise. Yeah. That's going to be good. Yeah. Normally we like to ride our carts, but today is a good day to walk.
Lincoln Park has discounted rates during the spring season, just $11 for a round of 9. They'll be open every day, weather permitting.
Hey, I'm Chris Stewart, and here's a look at today's lineup on the Now. Do you have one of those backup cameras on your car? Well, we just got some new information today about how good they and other technology are at preventing crashes. And we're going to be putting those DNA tests to the test. Our investigative team wanted to know, how accurate are they? And we're going to also show you a new feature on Airbnb. You could cash in as well, and this time you don't have to rent out your home.
Thanks for that. Take a look at this. A Twitter post with National School Walkout Day planned for March 14th. Marquette University is reassuring prospective students any peaceful action they take in protesting gun control won't be held against them in the admission process. It says Marquette supports peaceful, free expression of beliefs. If a student gets disciplinary action for a peaceful protest, it will not affect their admission to Marquette. Former Marquette men's head basketball coach, current Virginia Tech coach Bud Williams, felt the need to scold some fans during last night's game between the Hokies and Duke. He was upset after some students serenaded a called foul with an offensive chant.
Williams taking the microphone here.
Guys, quit cussing. Quit cussing. Don't throw anything on the floor regardless of what's happening.
All right, that lecture might have helped. Virginia Tech went on to upset Duke 63-64. That's something we can all get behind, right?
We've all been here before, trying to back out of a crowded parking lot, having a near miss, or even worse, a crash. But avoiding these types of accidents is getting easier, and the Now's Kumasi Aaron shows us how.
Back in the day, you'd have to turn around, look out of the window, and just pray and hope that you didn't hit anything. But now cameras like these are standard in most new cars, and they'll be mandatory in all new cars starting in the spring. But this is more than just a nice thing to have. This is one of several technologies that are really reducing crashes. So the camera gives you a look at things you sometimes just can't see with your own eyes. It eliminates those blind spots. Then there are parking sensors. Those are sometimes those annoying beeps or vibrations in your seat that let you know when your car is just getting too close to something behind it. But what researchers found to be the most helpful in preventing rear crashes is the rear automatic emergency braking system. It can detect if something is behind you while you're backing up and can automatically brake if you can't or won't stop. Together, this technology dream team is reducing backup crashes reported to police by 78%. We know rear crashes don't usually result in serious injuries, but you never know who or what might be behind you. So using this new technology could potentially save you a lot of stress and thousands in repair costs. For the Now, I'm Kumasi Aaron.
It may cost you more if you want to improve your chances of getting a good seat on Southwest Airlines. Southwest is now charging up to $50 one way on some flights if you want to board in the first group of passengers. That's since the airline doesn't assign seats. It's your best way of getting that aisle or window seat you might want. All right, if you've taken one of those DNA tests to learn about your ancestors, or maybe you're thinking about it, you're going to want to see our next story in our lineup today. Our investigative team wanted to know how accurate they are, so we gave this woman the top 3 ancestry tests. They should all have the same results, right? You're watching The Now. There's a big new opportunity to turn what might start out as a seasonal job into a new strong-paying career. Lowe's is in the middle of its big spring hiring spree, and today they announced that they're helping their employees even more by getting them trained in high-demand skilled trade jobs. And Annie Taylor joining us right now to break all that down.
Yeah, Chris, and actually this is a big game changer for people who right now might be struggling to make ends meet with standard hourly customer service jobs. But the program just announced it's called Track to the Trades. So here's how it works. Lowe's will provide up to $2,500 in tuition up front for employees to get certified in various trades. We're talking about jobs like carpentry, heating and air conditioning, electrical, plumbing, and appliance repairs. But those types of skills, they take up to 6 to 10 months to learn. And right now, as a country, we're on track for a serious shortage of these types of workers, more than 500,000 short by 2026. Lowe's is taking this program a step further, giving employees opportunities to get full-time pre-apprenticeships in Lowe's nationwide contractor network. And Chris, this actually starts in 4 cities. The beginning of March, it starts in Denver, and then nationwide at the end of the year.
A big day for Franklin baseball fans. Officials from the American Association of Professional Baseball will be in town to welcome the new Ballpark Commons Stadium into their league. Also happening today, Ballpark Commons will announce a Name the Team contest. The winner gets $2,500. That's happening at Franklin City Hall. Not your regular heckler. Take a look at what Brewers infielder Eric Sogard had to deal with during a spring training game yesterday. Here's another look outside. You still have time to get out there and take in some sunshine before the sun goes down. Here's Alicia. Let's geek out.
Thanks, Steve. You know, we have some big changes headed our way after seeing some unseasonably warm temperatures over the past 3 days. Yesterday, we had temperatures into the 60s, today some 50s, and now we're gearing up for some snow and some rain. So let's talk about the precipitation types, you know, because this time around, we're actually going to see some snowfall without the temperatures being below freezing. So looking at rain, that's just when you get a snowflake that melts as the temperature profile throughout the atmosphere is all above freezing. When you get freezing rain, it's all in the liquid form, and as it falls, it hits a cold surface or a temperature that's 32 or below, and that's when you get freezing rain. And as far as sleet goes, that's just a snowflake that partially melts and then refreezes before it hits the ground, and then a snowflake. It remains snow as the whole temperature profile throughout the atmosphere is at or below freezing. So here's what we're looking at. We've got this system that's going to be working its way out of the Central Plains and lifting towards the north and east, and it looks like it's just going to skirt skirt our area and make its way as far north to bring some rain showers. And as that temperature profile gets colder, it will switch over to some snowfall. But as of right now, we're quiet, seeing the clouds rolling in. No rain, no snow as of right now. But if we look at the models, we're seeing an extreme outlier. The NAM had earlier upwards of 3 inches of snow, but it looks like the rest of our models keep the totals down. So we'll see anywhere from a dusting upwards till about 2 inches of snowfall. And that's definitely going to be good for us because we really don't need a whole lot more, as we go throughout the next couple of days here, Steve.
Is there a model that you're particularly fond of? I mean, I'm always fond of the model that's going to give us the lowest snow totals possible.
That's the one that I like too.
Right. Alicia Wilson and I think in the same way.
Do you know your family's ancestry? It's getting more and more affordable for us to research it. That's thanks to those at-home DNA tests. But before you spend your money, we wanted to know, how accurate are they? Jace Larson explains.
They are all the rage now, helping you find your family's history.
We've always wondered about the validity of my dad's side of the family and their claims about where we're from.
Elizabeth Makos is as curious as we all are.
So we think that we are half Italian, quarter Czechoslovakian, and quarter Polish.
She agreed to help us put these tests to the test.
I am. I'm very excited about this.
Elizabeth gave saliva samples 3 times, one for Ancestry DNA, 23andMe, and MyHeritage. We sealed them all up and sent them off. Then we had to wait about 6 weeks.
So we got your results back. Mm-hmm. What do you think of them?
It's shocking. It's really shocking. I can't imagine what technology they employ to get these results.
It's shocking because her results are all over the place. When it comes to Eastern Europe, Ancestry said she was 49% Eastern European, but 23andMe and MyHeritage only put the percentage in the high 20s.
When we look at, for example, it says the Balkans here. One says 34%, one says 18%.
Yeah. A little bit of a discrepancy there.
Remember how Elizabeth thought for sure that she was 50% Italian? Well, 23andMe and MyHeritage say she's closer to 30%. And then look at this result.
North African, what do you make of that?
I would love to know.
The companies don't claim to be perfectly accurate, and they use different algorithms. MyHeritage told us in a Skype interview that it maps more parts of the globe than other companies.
MyHeritage DNA has 42 ethnic regions with percentages, and that's the most on the market.
Rafi Mendelson encourages you to read the fine print, including what companies might do with your DNA profile after testing.
Personal information provided to MyHeritage is never sold, licensed, or shared with any third parties.
Both Ancestry DNA and 23andMe say your DNA could be used for medical research by its partners if your name has been stripped out. Peter Pitts is a former FDA Associate Commissioner, and he says, watch out.
The companies will tell you that they may sell the information, but it'll be de-identified, that nobody can find you. And that's not true. There have been studies done, one at Harvard, for example, where a couple of professors got genetic information that was supposedly anonymous and was able to figure out who the people were through very easy mechanisms.
He says the results should not be taken as gospel, and companies say don't use the findings to make medical decisions.
People need to understand that what they're getting back is an interesting snapshot, but not necessarily accurate or clinically relevant.
Elizabeth says she's telling her friends to use the tests just for fun.
I'm glad we did this because I probably would have just taken one test on my own and then completely trusted, all the results. And so this was very eye-opening for sure.
Jace Larson, The Now.
I want to show you this video here, just crazy. Talk about being in the right place at the right time. Watch as some police officers working outside a bank look up, they see a boy dangling from a 3rd-story window. At first they grab what looks like a rug to try and catch him, but before they can spread it out, he falls. One of the officers catches the 5-year-old boy in his arms. You can see they fall backward to the ground, but both are okay. Next on The Now, we're going to show you the new service Airbnb is starting to offer and how you can make money. Usually you got to rent out a room or maybe rent out your entire home, but now you can get paid thanks to your skills. Our Andy Taylor will tell you all about it when The Now continues. Just out today, your best bet if you're shopping for a pre-owned vehicle. Here's the new list of the top 10 must-shop pre-owned small and large SUVs that Auto Trader came up with based on their editors' picks. You can see they came up with a pretty wide selection, everything from the Chevy Tahoe to the Nissan Rogue and Toyota's Tundra truck. These are low-maintenance SUVs that typically won't leave you with high repair costs. Have you ever used Airbnb? It's offering a new way to experience a city, and for some of us, a new way to make money. The Now's Annie Taylor traveled to Seattle to check it out.
There's a new way to make some extra cash, and it's all through Airbnb. But the best part about it is you don't have to rent out a room to some stranger, but you do have to ask yourself, how well do you know your city?
So this is Post Alley. It's kind of the side entrance into the public market.
A Washington native, Tim Mezzin's been taking pictures professionally in Seattle for many years.
Things get a little slim in the wintertime.
When finances got tight this past December, Tim needed an alternate route to make some side money.
On the weekends, you can't even get through here. It's just packed full of people.
It just so happened that Airbnb had opened up an experience in Seattle.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome to the gum wall.
Okay. I gotta pick my spot.
Yeah.
That would take you to the most Instagrammable places in the Emerald City.
I think this one right here next to this peace sign.
Yeah.
Leave my mark. You're welcome, Seattle.
While many other hosts offer experiences like surf lessons, sushi making classes, and silent disco yoga, Tim decided to create a simple walking tour.
So here's the iconic market opening.
This is so cool.
As we made our way through downtown, along the Sound and into the market, Tim's picturesque stroll through Seattle was uncomplicated.
I wanted to come up with something that was walking and very photogenic and fun.
If you decide to create an experience in your own city, Tim suggests making it a point to showcase the famous places.
The original Starbucks.
Yeah, that's where it all began.
And the secret spots. As you can see, Airbnb makes it easy to make additional money. The application process is quick, and as long as you have some free time, anyone can do it.
It gives you a chance to meet other people, kind of look at your city through a different lens, if you will.
Right now, Airbnb experiences are only in select cities like Seattle, Washington, but they could soon be coming to a place near you, so you too could be making some extra cash. For the Now, I'm Annie Taylor.
Before we forget, we want to tell you what's coming up tomorrow here on The Now. We all know about the do not call list, but there are other simple ways to protect your privacy, from things like unwanted mail to the info that gets collected about you online. That's tomorrow, right here on The Now.
Welcome back, everybody. It looks like the tooth fairy might be holding out on us. Last year, kids received an average of $4.13 for a lost tooth. That's down 11% from 2016. Overall, the tooth fairy is still quite generous, leaving a whopping $271 million underneath the pillows of children across the nation. I got $1 per tooth. Does that date me? Planning to start a family in the near future? Well, you might want to start saving now. New numbers from the U.S. Department of Agriculture shows the cost of raising a child, it's going to set you back about $233,000. A lot of that will go towards lost teeth, I'm sure.
Yeah, you just answered your own question. That's what happened to the
2.
tooth fairy. Saving for the kid.
There you go.
Well, we're going to see some rain changing over to snow for tomorrow morning, but pretty quiet for the rest of this evening. Get ready for rain after midnight.
All right. Thanks, Alicia. And thank you for watching. That's it for now. We'll see you later.